And as we breathe each and every holy, sacred in-breath and out-breath, as we truly make an effort to pierce through the distractions of a physical world, as we take time to contemplate and to think of our existence, why we are here, what's the bigger story, as we take time to think of our own childhood, our earliest memory, what is it do we remember? That time of innocence, that time before we got totally integrated into a three-dimensional material world, was always that part of us that was hanging on as small babes into that higher world that we came from. Before we came into this world of forgetfulness, but always we have sensed there is a connection to something greater and grander. That even when we use our logic, and logic no longer sustains the multitude of questions that we have, so much of the unknown, it requires us to transcend logic. It requires us to transcend the mechanical of the mental. It requires us to touch deep within our own emotions, to seek that source, a source that is always present, no matter how hidden. But it does come through, and some more radiantly and all the time, mostly all the time, and others not so much. But we all hold that divine spark of unconditional love. That is the tethering to our highest source. And even as this higher source have moved into deep, deep densities, and in fact, densities what one would have called and fallen, or the filament no longer there, there is this unconditional love. It is filled with the Ein Sof Or light, the limitless light, and it comes from the highest source of all creations. And so as we breathe each and every in-breath and out-breath, this cosmic memory begins to become more impactful, flowing in, through, and around us. It is a sensation. You simply breathe and allow it to encompass you. It brings with it the cosmic memory, the cosmic origins. It brings with it the cosmic history and the cosmic possibilities of multiple futures. And so we simply breathe in a very calm and balanced way. Our physical body knows exactly what to do, for all things are on point. All consciousness is alert within our physical, mental, and emotional body, vibrating to this profound, loving energy. As this loving energy that we hold within ourselves that connects us to the source of all that is, connects us to the Ancient of Days, connects us to the past, the present, and the future. In its highest elevation and expression, seeking the microcosm of itself, And so there is a connection of the upper and the lower within our own selves. And in this upper and lower connection, there is a visual that comes very clear. And as you breathe each and every holy sacred in-breath and out-breath, as you remember, you breathe the divine. You breathe the source. You breathe your origins. You breathe your creation. You breathe your power. You breathe your memory. You breathe your abilities. See very clearly. It is like a cloud, but it is an elongated cloud, and it makes a bow. So if you could imagine a bowl, and from the top of the bowl, curving down and going back up, like a half of a circle. But this is a cloud, a mist. It is very organic. It looks white, a radiant white, but we can still see specks of color into it. Some of them as streaks, some of them as specks. And as we begin to look more deeply into this bowed celestial cloud, holding these sparks of light, and we simply breathe with intention that what this symbol comes from the highest dimensional realms. We make a connection with it as it seeks us. We seek it. And so this beautiful celestial cloud that is bold in shape, holding a myriad of colors, not just of this earth, but way, way, way beyond the earth. It is special, it is radiating, it is vibrating, and all we need to do is seek our gaze upon it and to breathe, remembering that we breathe in and exhale the divine, that it is our intention to align with the highest parts of ourselves, to reach into the depths of ourselves and the ancient memory of who we truly are, where we have come from, what we have done, and where we are going. And so as we continue almost in a dreamlike state, we become more relaxed, and we now allow ourselves to completely release into this beautiful energy of divine grace that flows in, holding the symbol of the bowed cloud. And as this dreamlike energy continues to flow in, gracing us with perfect balance, gracing us with the Shalometh Shalom, the peace that surpasses all human understanding, that flows into Asi Shalom, the higher spiritual peace, the higher spiritual peace, the divine cosmic peace. And we simply breathe each and every holy, sacred in-breath and out-breath. As this flow of grace continues, we are still looking at the visual that we are seeing becoming more substantiated in its density, this cloud, this mist. And now we feel drawn to this. It beckons to us, and it is as a bed to come and simply to lay down in the center of it, this sense of being nurtured and cupped in this love. And so we walk and we realize that we are vibrating so much higher. We are in our light bodies. And so we are able to actually lie in this frequency. And as we lie in this frequency within this bow of what is clouds perceived to us, and there is a continuum of light exchanges and colors beyond measure. And we simply blend into this cloud. It holds us, but we sink into it. And what this represents, this cloud, is this holding, this cupping, this support, the nurturing, the uplifting for each and every soul. It is here in great gratitude and the continued awakening to the children of the earth, the children of light who walk their path fearlessly, for the children of light who seek to make known the unknown, for the children of light who hold peace in their hearts, for the children of light who bless others and the world. A sacred and divine respite, if you will, but more than that, as you sink into this etheric cloud of light, as that part of you is in complete and total peace, where the physical world and the issues and dynamics of a physical world fade, 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 because this loving embrace is so strong and powerful. Everything else pales to it. And we choose to embrace it as it cups us, as it enfolds us, as it wraps us. This love, this peace, this sense of bliss. And as we experience this, it is there in the reigniting of our cosmic memory, the reinforcing of our cosmic memory, the realigning of our cosmic memory to bring that online, on board, and integrate, moving through the physical, mental, and emotional worlds. We are ever mindful and tethered to this higher part of ourself that is always present. Now more anchored more than ever, a continuum of a presence, ever mindful of who we truly are, even as a physical, mental, and emotional world would distract. that it is a pathway of a transcendence of an existence to be held in this cloud of organic, interconnecting light streams that connect us to the higher realms and the higher parts of where we exist, into that higher memory, that higher focus, that higher alignment that seeks to be more permanent and more integrated in your day-to-day life upon earthly matters. Within this cupping cloud where we now rest and simply breathe the light and the colors, the sense of peace and perfect balance. As a celestial retreat, a place of rest and healing, reflection and contemplation. In the great Ami Shaddai, the family of light from all sources, all connections, now surround and uphold this sacred experience for us. Their own very lights integrating and sparkling within this experience. An immersion, if you will, of cosmic consciousness and cosmic connections that is boundless and eternal. A remembering and a re-anchoring and a reconnection and a realignment to bring the tethering that much integrated, that much anchored into day-to-day activities in life, that no matter what is happening, you are ever mindful of this higher part of yourself, your connection to it. No longer just a memory or a fleeting thought, but something that is permanent, that is ever present and ever mindful. So we simply breathe and immerse ourselves in this grace and this blessing. And as we breathe the deep-seated Shalom Shalom and the Asi Shalom, the higher peace, as we integrate this, no matter what we face, no matter what we see, do, in a physical, mental, and emotional world, the dynamics and integration and dealing with all that is involved in a physical existence, in a three-dimensional, three-density world. This connection keeps us balanced, holding within the higher vision, the higher knowing, and the higher understanding, and thereby living a transcendent life. This is the cloud that comes to cup us in this transcendence that is always, always, always there, to keep it more into the mindfulness, anchoring it in our consciousness, in our world, that it resides and stays there and can no longer be clouded or pushed aside, for it is that strong, it is that anchored within us, that holds a peace that we can breathe through everything, that we can find a bliss and a joy through anything, then we can be at peace through anything. And now we choose to sink in deeper into this cloud of transcendence that holds all the lights of the multiverse. And we now choose to be totally immersed into it, where we are no longer on top of it, but within it. As it integrates into our field and as our field integrates into it. That we now receive, integrate, remember our origins, our abilities, our mission, our purpose, and moving into the higher parts of ourselves, moving into all possibilities, all possible futures, moving back in the past through various timelines, being able to pick up abilities from past knowledge and past lives and bring it into this one. Being able to choose and align with the highest timeline possibility. Being able to integrate the multifaceted, higher perspective and abilities that we possess. Bringing it into our physical, mental, and emotional day-to-day life in this physical world. So we just sink in deep and breathe, where we know we are blessed beyond measure, beyond time, beyond space in this moment, to be that shining star, that lighted path for the earth and for all of her life. We sense and feel with each step on our path this sense of transcendence, this cloud of transcendence, that yes, we are transcendent beings and can operate from this transcendency, even as we walk a physical, mental, and emotional world. And this loving presence streams down through all dimensions of ourselves, into all timelines of ourselves, past, present, future, bringing the transcendence of perfect peace, of health, of perfect balance, bringing it in within the reach and the vibratory rate that impacts our physical, mental, and emotional world. So we breathe and we receive this blessing that comes to us now. And now we must remember the return. And we come to understand that this immersion into this transcendent cloud that holds the knowledge of the multiverse and beyond, the source of our origins, integrating through the highest part of ourselves and funneling in into the lower densities and expressions of where we find ourselves. That we can begin to anchor more deeply this higher transcended wisdom, understanding, and guidance. That we integrate the healing, the perfect balance, and the peace in our day-to-day activities. That the way to be balanced and walk in peace, even among a chaotic world, becomes easier and more anchored as the days, weeks, months, and years progress. For we are on the path of our mastery. We are on the path of the cosmic return. And as much as we may want to stay in this perfect peace, we now know that we must be back and returned fully into our physical, mental, and emotional body, but the experience forever lingers with us in our physical, mental, and emotional experience. As we see the bowed cloud once again, us lying on it and then immersed into it. Whenever those times come that may be challenged, we simply look at that symbol and come back into the alignment and transcendence. And so on the count of 3, we are going to prepare ourselves to be back awake, fully grounded into our bodies. And anchored to this earth. We draw in our electromagnetic field as we begin to see the transcendent cloud begin to disperse and evaporate to its source. As the Ami Shaddai, the family of light that have held this space, begin to draw in their electromagnetic field, helping to free us from this loving grip of the cosmic expansion and bringing it into our more earthly dynamic. And so we are ready now. On the count of 3, we will be back, we will be awake, and we will be alert. 1, 2, take a very, very deep breath in. And 3, exhale. We are grounded. We are awake, alert, grounded to the earth.